Hey, what's up, Rat Pack? It's Rat Pack Weekly Training. Zoe coming at you. Today, I want to talk to you guys about travel parties, and this will be short and sweet. I'm going to give you guys some just general bullet points to go through, and obviously you can continue to watch this over and over again if you missed a few things. But I'm talking about travel parties today, and so if you're brand new, this might be foreign to you. Hopefully, it's not, but it might be a new thing for you. But what is a travel party? A travel party is just where we do it's our lingo for a presentation, launch event, meeting, travel party. All of that means the exact same thing, just a big presentation. So we're doing a travel party. That just means that we're setting up shop at your place, your home, your apartment, whatever works for you. You're inviting a handful of your friends over to your house, all right, where they're comfortable coming to, and you're just going to show them what we're doing, whether you're playing the video, whether you're doing a live presentation. We're just doing a meeting at your house because most people work 9 to 5, and so the evenings from 6 to 9 is really prime time for our business. And so here's what kind of the rules on travel parties, because I see, as we continue to pick up steam as a company, there's a lot of, especially, within our own group, there's obviously some great travel parties, and then there's some not so great travel parties. And so I think if you guys can learn what to do and what not to do, we can just help you be a little bit more effective with the time that you're putting into this business, because it's not about the time that you put in, it's about how effective we are with that time. So I want you guys to be able to maximize your travel parties so that you can get the highest sign-up ratio possible, all right? So what's rule number 1 with a travel party? It has to be fun, all right? People spend all day at their job. Last thing they want to do is come to something that's boring and mundane, or something where they feel like it's another job. You want to create a fun environment, and what's so great about travel parties is you can create culture with travel parties. And as a side note, if you're not doing travel parties within your business right now, I think you are missing a huge chunk of what makes this thing go, all right? Because there's lots of things, 2-on-1s, 1-on-1s, online exposures, all of these things play a part together, but travel parties is one of the bigger pieces, because that's where you can get a group of people together. There's high energy, there's more stories there, you can meet leaders there. That's where you build culture, and that's where you really build a team, and because you're actually getting a chance to meet everybody, and we get higher sign-up ratios at travel parties just because they do get to meet more people and see the culture and just hear the stories, because that's what sells. Facts tell, but stories sell, all right? So you want to make it a fun environment, and so start getting some travel parties ramped up in your team. That's the first thing that we do as a team when we get somebody started, is we get their launch event travel party on the books within their first 7 days. As soon as possible. You want to strike while it's hot, and if you're not doing that or you haven't done it, start doing it right now, because the more travel parties you have on your team happening every single night, I promise you the more money that you're going to make, all right? So make it a fun environment. This is where we can duplicate, all right? It's very easy to duplicate travel parties, because everybody can throw a party at their house where they can throw a presentation, all right? And then when you do these travel parties, you typically want to over-invite for them, all right? We usually, if you invite 10 people, maybe 4 or 5 will show up, all right? And so if you want to, avoid any kind of a disappointing turnout, over-invite for it, all right? Because if you get 10 people that say they're coming, I promise you 10 people are not going to show up unless you've got just ultimate credibility with those people, which for me, I didn't have that. If I invited 10 people, I'd be lucky if I got 3 or 4 to show up on a good night, all right? And with that being said, when you do have no-show travel parties, do a training, do something productive. I mean, we never cancel meetings. You never cancel a travel party, and I really don't even think you're really doing this business until you've driven 3 or 4 hours to a travel party where no guests showed up at, and then it was just you and the host that were hanging out, and you can do a training, you can do something productive to get a positive out of it, and I never leave on a negative note, all right? But again, you're going to have those no-show nights. It's part of the deal, so don't get frustrated, but that's why you want to get good at inviting, all right, and get all that stuff dialed in so that we can have some awesome rockin' travel parties, all right? So over-invite. Now, when you get to the travel party, it needs to be high energy, all right? So the music that you want to play, I promise you, it matters. It needs to be going before people even start showing up, all right? So whoever's hosting the travel party, all right, get the music dialed in, get your iTunes playlist of your travel party music, and just upbeat stuff, all right? Use your common sense on this. I'm not going to go into all the different songs. Nothing that's low tempo or low tone, like something that gets your blood flowing. Like if you were going to be running on the treadmill for a half an hour, the music you would hopefully be listening to during that time frame to keep your blood and your energy up, all right? And so high energy. Next thing is keep it simple. All right, don't make big dinner dishes or huge barbecues, stuff like that. Do that with team days, and and you can build culture that way. But at a travel party, when people walk in the door, they're basically evaluating evaluating, saying, can I do this myself? You know, can I go, do I want to go make a full spread for people every single night? And so if you just keep it to chips and dip, maybe some water, simple finger food, maybe some M&Ms, all right, that's going to be much more duplicatable. And so just keep it as simple as possible so that everybody can do it, all right? I know a lot of people like to make big dinner dishes. Don't do that. Save those for other nights, all right? The other thing is, when you are at the meeting, when people start showing up, this is a big killer. No negativity at all. All right, it is like my biggest pet peeve when I'm doing a travel party, a launch event for a brand new person, and let's say they invited 10 people, and 10 of them said they were coming, but only 2 actually showed up. And when the 2 actually show up, all right, they're sitting there whining and complaining about the 8 that didn't show up. And they're saying this to their guests, like, oh man, I had 8 people bail on me tonight, or, you know, I had 3 people bail on me, or they said they were going to be here and they ditched out on me tonight. And you're just like dumping all over your guests there, when, you know, the way I look at it, I'm like, man, if I, let's say you may or may not want somebody like me on your team, but let's say I was the only guest out of 10 people that you invited that showed up, and I was the only one, and you dumped all of that stuff on me the minute I walk into a travel party. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like I've got, I've got tens of thousands of people on my team, been very blessed. And so, me being there, I might have been the only one that mattered out of the 10 that you invited. And if you're dumping all the 9 negative people on top of me that didn't show up, I may not sign up that night, and you just cost yourself thousands and thousands of people. And that's not just me, but there's a lot of people that are rock stars in the company that showed up at the worst travel parties, that may have been the only guest there, and they happen to be that game-changing person for those people. And so focus on the people that are there. Be excited that they're there because they showed up. They stepped up to the plate for you. And don't complain at all during the travel party to your new people, ever. Just the rule in general, don't complain to anybody ever. That's just a bad way to operate in life in general, but definitely not to your guests that show up. So don't be negative, all right? Don't talk about people that might have quit your team. I had this at a travel party the other night, and they're like, oh, well, I had 3 people bail on me, and I had 1 person quit on me this week. And it's like, no, negativity, none. All right, 0, zilch. All right, the other thing is no network marketing talk. All right, don't be weird. See, when your guests show up, typically they don't know what they're seeing specifically. All right, they know they're coming to see something and maybe meet some people, but they don't know what network marketing is for the most part. So don't be weird about it. Don't talk about getting your 4 or getting senior rep or residual income or getting your lifestyle bonus. People outside of the World Ventures bubble don't know what that stuff is. And so just be a normal human being and just converse with people. Ask them how their day was. Talk about some vacations they might have lined up. Ask them what they do for work, what they like about what they do, what they don't like about what they do. Be purposeful with your questions, but do anything other than talking about network marketing talk. That's what the presentation is for, and that's what they're there for. All right, so no negativity, no MLM talk. Have applications and disclosures ready, all right, and pens. Have all of that stuff lined up with the host person that's running the travel party so that obviously we can get people signed up. I can't tell you how many travel parties I've done and nobody had any tools or any way of signing somebody up, and their people are, and then we're just looking around afterwards like, what happened? All right, and so that falls on you as the leader to really set the stage with your host. All right, so now during the travel party, all right, no texting, no going up to the bathroom, no interrupting, no doing anything distracting. Your guest that's there with you is watching you. All right, you need to be engaged. You need to be laughing at all the dumb jokes you've heard a million times. You need to be on the edge of your seat, raising your hand, participating. All right, not texting, not going up to go to the bathroom, because if you get up, then the guests think that, okay, well, I can get up and leave too, and now it just creates a complete chaotic of a travel party. So don't do any of that stuff, all right? Participate and just have a great time, and just create that fun energy in the room. Now, after the travel party, again, applications, pens, get people signed up. After the travel party is money making time. You shouldn't be talking about anything else than asking them if they are ready to get started. All right, but as soon as that meeting is over, whether it's the video or whether it's the live presentation, music goes on, breaking the ice. All right, the last thing you want is to have 10 guests in the room, no music, presentation is over, and then there's that awkward silence in the room, and everybody's just looking around to see who's going to make the first move to say yes or no. And if you leave it up to that, if you got 10 guests in the room and one says, no, I'm out, or this is dumb, bottom or is negative about it, now you got 9 other people, that domino effect, that go no, 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 negative, negative, negative. So you want to be able to drown all that stuff out with the high energy music. So that goes on immediately. That way, if you have a negative person, you can get them out without them distracting anybody else. And then obviously, once you do get somebody, after the music's up and people are signing people up, find the first person. That's what I do at every travel party. I find the first person that's excited about it, all right, that wants to say yes, and I make it a big deal. You know, let's say David's ready to sign up. I'm like, hey, everybody, welcome David to the team. Make it a big, big deal. And that starts that chain reaction energy for other people seeing, well, David signed up. Maybe I should sign up. And now we create a little domino effect out of that, all right? Now, after the presentation, 5-minute break at the most, and then jump into your fast start training, all right? The reason most presentations take so long is because the presentation takes long if it's a live one and the people drag it out, but it's the breaks in between the actual presentation and the training, all right? So make it bang, bang, just pop, pop, all right? Don't spend a whole lot of time. You don't want to be at a travel party 2.5, 3 hours a night. That's going to get old for a lot of people because a lot of people have jobs during the day, all right? They've got families that they want to see, and so they're taking their time out to build world ventures, and so you want to make that as efficient as possible, and so don't have any wasted time or wasted energy, all right? You do the presentation. The video is always 15 to 20 minutes long, or if you're doing a live one, make sure it's within a 30 to 40 minutes tops, all right? 5-minute break, get some people signed up, all right? Do the fast start training. Fast start training shouldn't be any longer than 10 or 15 minutes itself. That's a chance for you to re-engage other people, get people's questions answered, get them excited, maybe re-close people, all right? Use that time effectively, and then you're done, all right? That's it. It should be hour and a half at the very most from the time people walk in the door to the minute that they leave, hour and a half tops. All right, so that means start your travel parties on time. All right, and if you start, see, I get it, because sometimes you say you're going to start at 7 o'clock, and then we start not starting until 7:20, 7:30, then it becomes a habit. But I promise you, if you start starting on time at 7 o'clock or whatever time you've designated, and people aren't there, and you start on time, they're going to start showing up on time because we train people how to treat us. All right, so you want to set that example yourself. So send out, say, hey, we're doing a mix and mingle at 6:30. Presentation starts at 7. All right, so they got a 30-minute wiggle room to get there, but do not wait on people because, again, you might have some strong personality in the room that got there early, that was on time, and because you're waiting for the person that's 30 minutes late that probably wasn't going to sign up anyway, you just peed off the guy that was excited about it, but now he's messing, he's all upset because he had to wait an extra 30 minutes because, we're waiting on somebody that's just dragging their feet. So start your presentations on time. So other than that, again, number one rule is keep it fun. Start driving travel parties through your team. Get those things rocking. Duplicate. The people that have the most travel parties on their team every night, I promise you, are the ones that are making the most money. All right. So get after that. Make them rock solid travel parties. Again, effective with your time. Go through all those bullet points again. Make sure if you're doing things wrong, do them right. But just do more of it, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. So I hope you guys all have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week.